Hi guys, hello. It is 1 o'clock precisely. I'm just gonna wait for you guys to all join in. Hi, it's so good to see you. Have you got your cup of tea? Have you got your mugs out, your tea mugs out? Are we all ready? Oh, this warms my heart so much. I am so nervous because I want to make sure that this is good and that you enjoyed this. Welcome to my very first chat session of Tea with Karen. Thank you so much for indulging in this idea. And look at that already. I knew it, and I thought I put this on silent. How did that come to be? Okay, sorry guys. It's all happening. Thank you so much for indulging with me in this idea. You guys are so wonderful and lovely and so supportive. I can see my dear friend Seven Stewart here. I think my mum's watching, my sister too. Hello. So I'm just so excited to be doing this, and you guys have been so supportive and loving of my journey throughout my whole career, and I'm so excited to be doing this. And even if it makes one of you smile and makes you feel good about yourselves, and that just makes me so happy. I hope all of you are safe, your friends, your family, your loved ones are keeping safe and healthy. These are such challenging times, I know. I think this weekend it'll be 7 weeks in quarantine. So I find that it's really important during this time of staying at home, and thank you for staying at home. You are saving lives and making a huge difference to helping all those courageous people who are working on the front lines to battle this virus. But thank you so much, because by staying home you are making a ginormous impact. So bless your hearts. It's so important that as we're staying home, to keep up our spirits, to feed into our mental health, our mental well-being, doing things that are going to make our hearts and our souls feel good, even if it is for a little moment or so. Grab onto that, because that's so important to help us get through these challenging times. And most importantly, know that you are not alone, that we are all going through this together. Today, I will be having a cup of tea with my best friend, Timothy Omundson, who you know from Psych and Galavant, amongst a plethora of other brilliant roles that Timmy has played. I'm so excited and very grateful to Timmy for being my guinea pig, so to speak, and coming on for a chat. So I will invite him very soon. I know he's watching now. But before we bring Timmy on, I just want to talk to you about the Tea with Karen challenge hashtag. Thank you so much for those of you who have been posting your beautiful photos of your beautiful selves with your beloved tea mugs. It's so wonderful to see, and it just warms my heart to know that I'm not the only one who loves drinking tea. Some of you may love drinking coffee instead, or hot water and lemon, whatever it is. You've got your tea mugs there. Thanks so much for sharing them. I'm going to be drawing 4 winners randomly, and I'm going to be sending out $25 gift cards from Amazon, and we'll be changing that up each episode. I'll find another place for a gift card that could be useful for you guys too. So this one is going to be 4 $25 Amazon gift cards that I'll be sending out to 4 of you. So I will post the winners later today and get those out to you soon. So now I will present another Tea with Karen challenge, but I'll talk to you about that later on. I'm going to come on now. If you have any questions, if you look at the bottom, and thank you so much Tom and Charlotte and Nina for showing me how to do all this and navigate. If you look at the bottom of your screens, you'll see a question mark, and if you hit that, you can put a question in. I have taken some questions. There were so many, and all really great questions for Timmy and I, but I had to choose a few because we only have about up to an hour together. So, but if you have some questions now, just type it away, press that question mark, And now I'm going to go on, bear with me 2 seconds. There we go. And I'm going to bring, let's just wait for Timmy to come on. I'm so excited. And whilst Timmy,
Hello,
there you
Kaza.
are. Hi.
Hey, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm good. Well, don't you look gorgeous?
Well, it's tea with Karen. I gotta guss it up a little bit.
You
My
look
head's a
so
little cut off, though.
dapper. I am loving the suit.
Well, look at your dress, sweetheart.
Thank you.
How dare you look this beautiful during quarantine?
Actually, I haven't been wearing makeup. I've been in my glad rags, track bottoms, slippers, glasses. So I knew that, I'm going to be having a chat with my bestie. So,
Oh, I haven't been wearing makeup either.
well,
I think I gotta. Second,
to
let me
be
just
honest,
adjust my camera.
you
There we
don't
go.
need any, and
Wow, look at
you
that
look
mop.
wonderful. How are you doing?
Thanks, sweetheart. I'm good.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers! That is such a great. I love your.
Hey, what would Tim look like without hair or with a buzz cut? Oh, just that.
Oh, that
Especially during the
is.
psych days. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Tea with Karen and me.
Yeah.
Lots of
Timmy,
hearts. That's sweet.
look, so many people, so many of them have sent in so many questions and sending notes of love to you. And
Oh, thanks, guys.
it was so hard to choose because there's so many questions. But we'll pick a few, and we'll get to those in a bit. But I had something that I did last night, and I was looking through my photo album of all our pictures together, Timmy.
God,
And
so many.
I'm going to start this. I don't know if I can see. So we've got them here. Okay. So
Wow.
I just
That's
chose
actually like we're friends and like each other.
I did. So Timmy, we've been through many adventures together.
Oh, that was a good one.
We've been royals together,
Yes, we have. I still feel
right?
like we are
We've ridden on horse
warriors.
together. We've gone to battle together.
We have
We've
indeed.
had many
What was that?
ABC, TCAs, many
All
laughs
right.
together.
Aw.
We've raised funds for charity together. We've sung and danced together.
Yes, we have.
We've had the same hairstyle together. We've done Shakespeare together. We've played trivia games together.
I think you won
We've even had tattoos together.
of
So
my face.
I think that qualifies us as being BFFs forever.
I totally think we're. What's BFFs to like the third power?
It's like best friends.
BBFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFF I'm not wearing my reading glasses, so I can't see your beautiful comments that well. So if you're saying something lovely and I'm not giving you a shout out, it's because I'm not seeing it. So it's not that I don't love you and appreciate it.
I'll read them out too, and a bunch of them are sending in questions. There's loads of them too. Timmy, you won that trivia competition, by the way. Do you remember?
Oh, I know that. I just want to make sure you remembered it.
Oh, yeah. I said, you suck. And you won. I was a bit of a loser. You knew you got all the questions right. And I think I only got one question right. I was like, oops.
Is that question, who was the most awesome male star on Galavant?
Well, of course, I would have said you.
Well, you were sitting right next to me. You had to say it.
I had to say it. Otherwise, that's it. We wouldn't be BFFs forever.
That's the weekend we saw Hamilton together, too. You're making me weepy.
So, how have you been? Like, how's the family? And what have you been up to during this quarantine?
I have actually been doing remote physical therapy and occupational therapy to continue my path to recovery. Lots of hearts from somebody. Thank you. So do that 4 times a week, which I didn't think it was going to work remotely, but I was really surprised at how well it did work. So I've been doing that pretty much, well, like I said, 4 days a week in the mornings.
Yeah.
And Allison and I, my beautiful wife, Allison, I've been watching a lot of TV. Catching up on stuff we have.
You recommend?
We've been pounding through Schitt's Creek, which I cannot believe it took us all these years to finally see it. But I think we're already halfway through season 5.
Oh my gosh.
So that's been the big like we needed a little something light. We went through Ozark, and that was a little dark. So then we decided let's go for something a little happier.
Yeah.
So I've been
And
loving Schitt's Creek, and then we just started 2 nights ago. We started Ricky Gervais' second season of his great show Afterlife, which is
yes.
really wonderful if you haven't seen it.
Oh,
It's on Netflix.
It's so good. He's such a good actor. Like we know Ricky as being the funny one, obviously, but he's so much.
No, he had me in tears last night. His work was just beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Gosh, it feels like yesterday that he was on set with you guys, playing Xanax.
One of the greatest days on set ever.
Oh, I don't know how you
laughed my ass off the entire. Sorry, honey, what?
I don't know how you kept a straight face when he was on set.
I don't think I did. That's a great thing working with Ricky Gervais. He's always laughing, so you can break and laugh.
Yeah, but then that's the problem. It's like if he starts laughing, that's it. It's like a domino effect, and then everyone.
And it's this massive, like it's that cackle, that big loud belly laugh, that goes constantly.
You do that very well.
Thanks.
I know that was so.
We did laugh.
Those were good times. Good times, and we had a bunch of Galavant fans sending in questions.
Hi, Galavanters.
So yeah, and you have a lot of psych fans as well.
The psychos.
And
so also, what's the backside of my cup say? Let's see. Yeah. It says, it's my favorite last year quote. I would rather shower with a bear. I think that's what that says. Yes, I would rather shower with a bear. That's what it goes.
They're going to love that. And then you also have a lot of Luck of the Irish fans as well.
Who are you out there watching now? Hoity, 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 hoity. You got me lucky, coin. Oof. Worst Irish accent ever on that movie. Hey, sure, Jenny's watching, your mama? Hey, Jenny.
Yeah, Mom's watching and my sister's watching. So
hey,
they all
sisters. Love you guys.
They all send their love. Timmy, you just celebrated, 3 years since your stroke?
3 years since my brain tried to kill me. And sweetheart, you've been such an amazing part of my journey to recovery. You and Carl have been incredibly supportive in visiting me and taking care of our family. Love you, BFF.
We love you right back. You guys have such a beautiful circle of friends and family who adore you, but that's only being reflected back of what you and Alison and the girls, bring to everyone. So that's what friends are for, right?
I'm an incredibly lucky man.
More I could do, but I love even. It was so nice to pop by last week or the other week before.
Just so you all know how amazing Karen and Carl are. Carl is one of the greatest cooks I've ever come across, and he dropped my family off a pot of curry a couple weeks ago, which we went through like that. Dropped it off at a very safe distance. Kind of put it on the porch and ran away.
Yeah, wearing masks and everything, and just I think so that's good. What I miss the most is not being able to hug my best friends. That's so hard.
Oh, listen, this isn't going to last forever, Karen.
I know. But then that's why I was saying it's so important to do things every day. Even if it's little things or whatnot, that'll make us smile. Even if it means. I love that you're binge watching Schitt's Creek. That's something on my list too. Like this, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just
so good.
To feed into our mental well-being and all that. So,
also, I've decided we want to be best friends with Daniel Levi.
Oh yeah. He's so.
Or Levy, sorry, not Levi.
Yeah.
So good on that show. Everybody. I mean, Catherine O'Hara is just inspired on it.
Yeah. And as actors, to see, isn't it often when we see a show where the writing is so good, the acting, the performances are so good, and you're like, damn it. Oh,
yeah, every actor on that show is amazing. Every actor and actress.
I've only seen a couple of episodes in, and so this is what we're starting now to watch too. But so we have a long way to go. But is there, if you could be on the show, what character would you play in relation to the characters in the show?
God, that's so. I mean, like, there's no character I'd want to be because they're all so amazing. Although I would want to work somewhere at the motel, so I could work with Eugene and Daniel and just come across Catherine O'Hara's character, Moira and Alexa.
Yeah.
Be a groundskeeper. I mean, they already have a groundskeeper, but I don't know, somebody in the motel, I think.
Hmm. Well, because the show's now come to an end, I wonder if they might come back and do, I don't know, another season or a special limited season or something maybe.
I mean, they did what, six? I think they did 6 seasons.
But I feel like we only caught on to it just recently.
Yeah, I keep seeing stuff on Twitter about it. I don't know why I never tuned in.
Yeah, same here. But there's so many shows to choose from. Like, I have such a long list of things that I'm trying to get through and go through. So,
what else are you watching right now?
well, I know it might be a bit girly, but I've been catching up on Outlander. I have to start the new season of Killing Eve, and what was the other one? Outlander, Killing Eve. Oh, and Succession. Have you seen?
Love Succession.
Okay,
yeah,
so
loved it.
I'm on season 2, and I'm just like, so
it's so good.
Yeah.
The ending is so good.
I know.
Yeah, I love that show.
So,
Sorry, Coffee Bridge.
is it okay if I ask some questions from your fans?
Absolutely. I have fans?
Yeah, you do.
Bring on.
I'm included. I'm one of them. So, B-Way and Things asks Timmy, what's your funniest moment on the sets of Galavant?
Funniest moment had to be the day I was working with Ricky Gervais. So it's not a moment. It was more the funniest day.
Yeah.
God, there was so many. Every day on that set was just hilarity.
We were laughing all the time.
All the time.
Non-stop.
And Darren Evans in the pilot, our chef, just killed me.
Oh.
I think he was the only one in the pilot who made me break. He just had a way of holding his body that just destroyed me.
Yeah.
I miss that show.
It was, I know. I'd love to do more. I'd love for all of us to come back and just, do something.
I would love that too.
See, so you guys have heard it first, because we got a lot of questions from the fans, Galavant fans, saying, would you guys want to do more? Would you want to play King Richard again? I know in a heartbeat, nothing.
Oh, absolutely. In a second, I would. And I know Glenn Slater, our amazing lyricist, and Alan Menken, our, of course, stupendous composer. I know those guys would jump at a chance to do it again. And Kat and John, everybody would. I think we all would.
I know. All of us.
I don't know physically how well I could play Richard right now with what's going on with me. But I did pitch to Kat Lickle, our glorious executive producer, the other day, that we do like a Braun and Hodor thing where Vinnie Jones pushes me around in a wooden wheelchair and then carries me. That's my answer to that. Or just we'll have people carry me around.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
I think I can do the accent still.
Of course you can. You always could. Prince Harry, remember how he arrived when
oh yeah,
he was being
the big chaise.
So I mean, you could just be taking up that kind of style. You're making an entrance.
Totally.
I think it's
okay. I'm in.
Sorry, love.
I'm in then.
Yeah.
We'll figure out the physical details later.
Yeah. I think also too, now that it's been some time, as Chris Koch was saying, our amazing director and exec producer too, he was saying that it's about reinventing as well. Right. Our characters would have been coming along over the past few years. So I think, there's so much that could be done. Dan actually wrote a Bible, didn't he, for 7 seasons?
Did he? I don't know.
He wrote a Bible. He had a Bible for 7 seasons, if I remember correctly.
This is Dan Fogelman, our incredible creator of our show. Did he write 7 seasons worth?
Yeah, there's like a Bible for it. And I just feel like there's so many more stories that could be told. So, gosh, just thinking about it just makes me so excited, because I just the thought. Okay, well, from our lips to universe's ears, Timmy. Let's see. Right? More Galavant. Timmy at xpriyax asks, what is your favorite tea?
My favorite tea is probably like a good strong Irish breakfast.
That's my favorite.
Actually, my favorite tea is whatever Karen makes me, because I've never had a cup of tea as nice as what Karen makes me at her house. I don't know what you do to it. And I know it's going to piss off Claire if she's watching, because she made me a nice tea on set.
Yeah, Claire. Yeah, it's in the blood, When you're a Brit.
You Brits who know how to make a tea. Vinnie Jones got very pissed off at me one time on set because I left my tea bag in my cup way too long. He literally reached into my cup and pulled out. I was like, "You don't do it like that," and threw it out on the ground.
Vinny loves his builder's tea.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Builders, which is sort of like it's the working class tea, right?
Oh yeah, it's like 4-6 lumps of sugar. It's very
Yeah,
awesome.
you're not buying Builders at Harrods. I think Karen always brings me tea back from England when she comes.
Yes, that's tradition.
Love
Always
you.
bring tea back. But Lily, your daughter Lily, has learned how to make good tea.
Loves it because you've given her lessons.
Yeah. So now she can make good tea. So I feel like it's going to be a permanent staple in your house. Good
I
tea.
hope so.
You've got enough tea now, though, right? I don't have to top you
Yeah,
up.
no, we're good. We're totally good on
You
tea.
good? Okay.
Although Lily's probably going to take half of it when she goes away to college.
I know. I'm going to have to send her a care package too before she goes.
You have to.
I can't believe how quickly the time has gone. So for those of you, Timmy's daughter Lily is about to embark on a new chapter of her life, going to college. She's so unbelievably talented in her artistic endeavors. Her animations, her sketches, it just blows my mind. Does that runs in your family? Does any other artist in your family?
Allison's sister's a very talented artist. I have zero talent for art whatsoever for drawing.
That's
like
me.
Zero. Capital Z, capital O, capital R. There's an E in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes spelled in my head.
I can only draw stick people. That's the extent.
I can't even do that. That requires straight lines. I can't even do that.
I can't even do that. I can't cut in a straight line. Nothing. None of that. So
I really am amazed at people have the talent to like think of something and then draw it. That's why all this incredible fan art you and I get, it just blows me away. And it always really touches me that someone takes the time to do that and show their talent that way and share it with us.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're quite incredible too. I have some of it on my wall. I have art of Milo. So I have some of that on his Milo wall where he eats. So
Milo's got his own wall of art.
He's only got he does.
Just show me that when I come over again.
Station in the kitchen, and Connor and I keep saying, "Oh my gosh, if this dog only knew."
Oh, he knows. Milo knows.
Milo knows. So Alex Hansen Beast asks Tim, "What was it like going from Psych to Galavant?" I mean, 2 fantastic shows.
I just kept pinching myself at how blessed I was. I mean, Psych ended, and it was one of the greatest jobs I'd ever had in my life. I mean, up until that point, it was as good as it gets. And then that ended, I was like, what in the hell am I going to do now? And I kind of made this list. It's like a crazy thing. I made this list of what I wanted to do. It's sort of like I could ask for anything, and I asked for the moon. I said, I want to do a period piece. I want something where I can grow my hair out. And like I want to be a hero. And then this show came along. Yeah, there were some other things on there too that were really specific to Galavant.
Yeah.
Lily, Karen was just talking. Sorry, my daughter's walking past. I'm not going to turn the camera on you, don't worry. Karen was just going on about your art.
I was watching.
Oh, she saw it.
Oh!
She said I love her so much.
I love you too.
She said she loves you too.
So, I mean, both those characters, you know, in Psych, in Galavant, I mean, do you get often asked too? Because I do when they say, you know, which is your favorite character to have played, but that's impossible to choose from.
No, you can't. It's like, how do you choose your favorite baby? You just can't.
Yeah.
They were both incredible, and the incredible gift I was given on this role was the character development that went through with both those guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, where Lasseter ended up at the end of Psych versus where he started was incredible. I didn't think I'd ever get to do that kind of character development again. And then Dan and Kat and John come up with Richard, and what happened with him season 2 was just unbelievable and so incredibly fulfilling. And Richard was really kind of, I feel like it was the role I was born to play. It was my entire life was leading up to that, of all my stuff in theater school and wanting to sing and getting to ride horses. It was just amazing.
My dad told me when I booked the role, he said, Karen, he said, you couldn't have asked for a bigger dream role. You get to sing, you get to dance with horses, you get to horse ride, you get to sword fight.
You were so incredible in that.
Oh, thank you, love. But it's acting with you guys. This is one thing I'm grateful for. Like, we meet so many incredible human beings through our job.
God, we did, didn't we?
Yeah. And we're a family, and that has transcended from the show. Now, what, 4 years later? And I can't imagine my journey without you guys. And
Likewise.
We're so much a family unit, and I'm so grateful for that's even come out of, it's one thing to do a dream show and to play a dream character, but it's another to then make lifelong friends. And
yeah, how blessed are we? Incredible.
We just did that Zoom catch up with everyone, which was so much fun.
It was really fun. I don't know if anybody else had this trouble. After about 20 minutes on Zoom, my brain kind of shuts off.
Yeah. It gets tricky.
There's more than 2 people.
But I feel like we reenacted like the Brady Bunch kind of thing, where we're looking down and like see, it was all of that. That was so much fun. But then that just goes to show that, no matter what, that we'll always be together as a family for the rest of our lives. So sorry, Timmy, you're stuck with me.
I was about to say that to you.
Can't get rid of me now, or can't.
Nah, can't. The fact that you live 5 minutes away from me doesn't help.
I love that we're neighbors. I love it.
I wish we could hang out more now.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
Cool. Once
we started house hunting, you came and met us, because I think one house was literally around the corner from you.
Yeah, it was.
And I asked Timmy to come and check this house out, because if anyone's going to tell me whether he likes it or not, it's going to be Timmy. Timmy walked in, he's like, no.
I mean, and only because I don't think it was right. I mean, I knew the street wasn't great.
Yeah. And I'm so glad, because at that time, I guess now too, but especially at that time, there's so many bidding wars, so people just jump at anything. So that kind of...
Yeah, throwing cash. It's insane.
Yeah, and it can disillusion you as to saying, well, is this really a good place? Because there's so many people putting in bids for it. So it was so nice to have my BFF come in and just tell it like it is. That's what I love about you, Timmy. So
wasn't there one time your mom was in town and went and looked at one? And
yeah.
Were you in the UK for that?
No, so it was Mum and I, and you came because Carl was in London. He was waiting for his visa to be approved at the time, so he couldn't go house hunting with us. So I said, oh my gosh, I kind of need, more feedback of if this place is good. It was so daunting. It's such a huge decision to make when you're going house hunting. And so I was so happy when you came over, because the whole area, and so that was good. But then now what we ended up with is
God, the place you're in now is so lovely.
Thank
you guys really scored, and what you've done with it is just amazing.
Thank you. But isn't it just like you guys with your sweet home? It's so full of love. Your home is full of tons of love, good energy, and it's so important to make our homes into our sanctuary. Yeah,
I mean, every time I'm at your house, it's full of friends and beautiful people that I met through you, and friends from the show if they're in town from the UK. And it's great. There's always a meal.
Yeah, our brunches. I'll catch
warm hearth.
Yeah, I miss those. I can't wait. We'll be able to do them again soon when it's safe. But it really makes you think about the little things and how much we have to be grateful for.
In fact, your house is the first place I really went to after I got sick.
Oh, really?
I just sort of gotten out of my wheelchair and it was the first place I was really walking around. No, in fact, I was still in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
And then Carl and I think Chris Koch had to lift me up in my wheelchair through the back door to get me into your house.
That's right.
So it really was, it's really special to me because it's a place where I really kind of started healing. I saw those milestones kick in.
And now you're just walking with your fancy cane.
I have a beautiful array of fancy canes now.
Yes.
Which I'm trying to use a lot less.
How's that going? So
it's going well.
Yeah.
Every day's another struggle, but I just sort of think, like we talked about the 3-year anniversary a few days ago, and I think back at where I started, and they didn't even, My doctors weren't even sure if I was going to walk. Oh, thanks for the arms, everybody, whoever just put those out.
Yay!
Got a lot of arms. Yeah, I mean, they weren't sure if I was ever going to walk again. And it's like, oh, I guess so that's up and so
But
that's going well. I mean,
what's so inspiring to me is to see how you faced your challenges with such grace and such dignity, such strength, because it's not easy, but you maintained your humor throughout it all. It's so inspiring for many of us to just watch you, because from 3 years ago to now, my gosh, Timmy, it's nothing short of miraculous, but that's a testament to your commitment and perseverance and strength, strength of mind, strength.
Suck it, stroke. Who wrote that? Right on. Yeah. Suck it, stroke.
Yeah.
Suck it.
Yeah.
You know, I really am. I mean, I credit obviously my family for the support they've given me, and the love of my amazing friends like you and Carl and my extended chosen family have been absolutely incredible. I couldn't have done this without them and all of you guys. And actually, so many of the fans have given me incredible support. You see on social media that you have no idea what that does to keep me strong and go. So thank you very much, everyone. I love you. I couldn't do it without you.
How was it to be back? I know you were recently, before all this kicked off, how was it to be back on the convention circuit?
Okay, right. Literally like a week before quarantine hit, I did my first convention, my first Supernatural convention after 3 years of being away, and it was weird. It was weird physically to kind of walk. There was a lot more logistics, like how do I walk out on stage now? And my vision's not great, so like where am I going? And I had to do a run through on stage, but it was so amazing to see my Supernatural friends and that family.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of your Supernatural family, Ruthie Connell did send in. Who's your favorite?
When I first walked out on stage, though, for that. Sorry, who's what?
Oh, sorry, love. There was a delay. I was saying, speaking of your Supernatural family, Ruthie Connell, she just posted. She said, "Who's your favorite Tiny Scots?"
Well, it's got to be Ruthie, isn't it? Hi, Ruthie.
Yeah. So you were saying, I saw that playback, your interview, when you sit down.
Oh, the panel, which
Rob Benedict, and oh, it was so wonderful. Like, to me, it's as if you never left. I mean,
well, thank you, sweetheart.
You're right at home and so comfortable, and you could feel the love from the audience.
It was pretty overwhelming to walk out and just get that sort of ovation of just love was really amazing.
Yeah, that's
and then to do the panel with Rob, who I don't know if you know. Rob Benedict, who also had a stroke a few years before mine. He's kind of been my lighthouse for a lot of this.
Yeah.
It was really a special treat for both of us. I mean, for me and for him. I'm sure it was a bigger treat for him than it was for me. Kidding. He knows how much I love him.
It was just so wonderful. And again, so inspiring to see both of you talk about your experiences and, you know, how you've been dealing with it every single day, and how,
you know, there's a line in Shawshank Redemption that really keeps me going, and it has from the beginning of get busy living or get busy dying. That's kind of been my mantra.
That's a good one.
Because I can't just sit in a corner and cry. It's not going to get me walking. It's not going to get rid of my sticks any quicker.
Yeah. That's what my dad always said, because we have the choice and how we choose to react things. And I think this is where my even deeper admiration comes, you know, when I watch you, Tim, because, you know, it's what you've been through is not something that is easy to get through. And you've just taken it on the chin, and you're right, you got busy living. And here you are.
Truly, though, I can't do it alone, and it's only because of the people around me that have kept me going. You know, my wife and I sat our daughters down when this first happened, and like, okay, well, look, obviously something really crappy happened. We're trying to figure out the message, and maybe the message is, at least for them, look, really bad things happen in life sometimes, but it's all about how you deal with them and not being defined by them, and pick yourself up and pounding through. And some days that's hard to do. they keep me going, and all of you keep me going, and friends like you, Kaza, keep me going to try and really get to that point where I can, I just want to be able to walk down the street again at a good pace and live my life and be able to travel with Allison again. And
yeah.
So, and that's a daily struggle to it's not going to happen unless I put the work in.
But you are.
I think that's just it. You got to put the work in.
Yeah. Put the work in, and that you're doing. And every time I see you, there's already so much improvement.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And
that's good to hear, because I don't always see it because I'm so close to it, obviously. And I know Allison always appreciates when you say that, because she's so close. She doesn't see a lot of the big milestones.
Yeah. But it's easier for us to see it because, we're not with you every day. But when we do see you, it's again, we're just in awe.
Thank you, honey.
I think everything, and that was so wonderful what you just touched upon, because I think that can be applied to all of us that are now having to stay at home. I find when I start to feel a little anxious or, feeling a little bit vulnerable, it's so important to talk about those feelings and acknowledge them. But I always then remember my gratitude. I remember what I'm grateful for. And it's like you said, you're grateful for your family, your friends, and to have a roof over our heads. Those things are so
the anniversary it was a really great day. I spent most of it sort of sitting on my porch with a cup of coffee and maybe a little whiskey, and just literally counting my blessings of how amazing my life is and all the amazing things. First and foremost, the fact that I survived this thing, which so many people certainly recently don't or haven't, and just how lucky I am that I'm still around to see my girls grow up and enjoy my life with my wife and my friends.
Mm-hmm. And even doing that, it just gives you such a good feeling. Like it feeds so much into your mental well-being. My mom always says that, when we nurture our brains and our mindset, nurture our hearts, nurture our souls, she said that just has the power to keep us going. And she's so right. My mom, my dad, I've been really lucky because I feel like they've been my life coaches.
No, your parents are amazing human beings. I love being around them.
They love you. They love you and Allison so much.
Well, it's all mutual.
But I feel like I'm so blessed to have their guidance and their words of wisdom. Actually, my dad, Timmy, ever since I was a little girl, my dad would come up with he would find these quotes that he loved so much, and he would write them on little pieces of paper, and he would hide them throughout the house. So
amazing.
Every time
I can totally see that.
I go to school, and my dad, and he's quirky in that sense, he would do stuff like that. So I'd find it in my shoe. I would find it in my backpack going to school.
Amazing.
You name it. And he still does that to this day. So when he comes and visits me, he will write out famous quotes that he loves, and he would hide them everywhere. And so between him and my mom, because my mom loves sending quotes too. So you talk about your favorite quote, which I love, from Shawshank Redemption. My dad wrote this one, which I found. It's so nice. It says, "When you're thankful for what you have, you are always rewarded with more. Try to stay positive and things will get better." And my dad, that quote I've had for I think it was I think this was just before I tested.
See, this is where I'm so lucky having you in my life. Because I feel like the knowledge they gave you certainly is part of who you are, and you shared a lot of that with me over the years. Well, that positivity, and whether it's about my health or our careers and the ups and downs we had.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best thing about you, Karen. You've been one of the most positive people I know in my life.
Oh, love, thank you. But
and it's so infectious to be around, and it spreads. Although we're talking about infection and spreading right now. Stay home. Be safe. Wear a mask.
Yeah, let's create a happy pandemic where it's spreading a pandemic of joy and kindness and compassion and empathy. Because that's what you guys do, but that's what my parents have done for me in my life and upbringing. So I don't know what I would have done if they hadn't, especially with the types of jobs that we do. we know what it's like to be in and out of work or out of work. You know, when I first started for a long time, my dad sent me that quote, I think just before I tested for Galavant. And I love this role so much, Isabella, but I didn't think in a million years. I mean, it's not being negative, but I just, you know, when you want something so much and you're like, well, you've got to let it go and just focus on giving it your best, and that's all you can do. And he sent me that quote just before I went into test. And it just made me feel so much better, you know? So I'm really grateful for their quotes.
Well, I mean, so much of what we do to survive in this business is about a positive mental attitude. Like, if you don't have it, you're just going to get broken by it.
I know.
Which I think is true in all aspects of life now, whether it's our business or anything. Certainly getting through the times everybody's dealing with right now.
I know. It's trying to find...
It's not gin, honest. Might be a little bit. Okay, it's gin.
I'm going to go on some of these questions here. Oh, we've got so many.
Really?
Yeah, Timmy. Well, I'm not surprised at all. You're so loved.
You're so loved. They can't see you, sweetheart.
Oh.
Yeah, read them up, because like I said, I can't see them, and I'm seeing lots of lovely messages which I can't quite read.
There's so many from. Okay, so let me see.
No, it's not vodka. I didn't pick out the word vodka. It's not vodka. I'm more of a gin guy. Sorry, go ahead, Karen. Got a question?
Yes. So Clara W quadruple R. She asks, "What's the best advice you've received so far?" By the way, she sends both of us tons of love. What's the best advice you've ever received so far?
It was from my dad. It was when I first got down to LA. It was be patient. I mean, that's it. Just be patient and patient that it's going to come and things are going to work out the way they're supposed to.
Yeah. When did you come to LA, Timmy?
1987.
Oh, wow.
Right when I graduated high school, I came down for theater school. Did 4 years of theater school, and it took about 3 or 4 years before I got a job, like an actual paying gig on TV.
Oh, wait, we were asked this question, right? What was your
Yeah, we were at the trivia thing.
And that was on Seinfeld.
Wow, look at you with the memory.
I remember. Well, I got it wrong then.
I'm trying to remember yours. I can't remember yours. What was yours again?
My very first job was if it's an acting job, it was when I was a kid. I did a Jello commercial. So that was my first job, so to speak.
I don't remember that from the competition question.
Yeah.
A Jello commercial?
It was a Jello commercial. I was a little girl.
I think you're lying.
This is in Canada. I had to I had my hair in pigtails, and I had to say something like, "It's Jello, Jello." Something like that I had to do. That was
so you were singing right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, now in my defense, it's no wonder I wouldn't get that. It's Canadian.
Canadian, yeah, because I grew up in Canada and England. So, yeah.
But I wasn't getting Jello commercials in Seattle. Although I might have gotten them on CBC if I was watching that.
Yeah, because it would have been on there. It was on Canadian TV. It was just for Canada. So, but that was my first stint. And then my dad, because my parents having just immigrated, they kind of said, listen, you need to focus on just being a kid. And if acting is something and singing something that you really want to do, you can, but you need to focus on your studies and be a kid. And so they kind of struck a deal with me. They couldn't afford to take time off work. So mom and dad saved up, and they said as long as I got good grades in school and I was a good kid, they would pay for my lessons. So up until I was about 15 was when I was doing singing lessons, acting, dance lessons, all of that. And then when I was 15 is when I booked my first theatre job.
You were 15? Really? When did you get your first sort of singing job? Or when did that really sort of turn for you where you're like, okay, singing might work?
So my sister is a little bit, she's my older sister. So whatever music she listened to, I feel like I was so lucky because I got this amazing music education when I was 4 years old. Like I'd be singing Duran Duran songs and Aerosmith songs instead of, instead of Mary Had a Little Lamb. It was a little bit alarming because I'd be singing songs like Hungry Like the Wolf and
I need to hear your version of Hunger. Like, we need to go to karaoke someday. And I want to hear
yes.
some Duran Duran out of you.
Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun. I'm gonna hold that to me. But I would sing those songs, and I feel like from her is where I really started to learn about all kinds and genres of music. And my parents love Motown music and all that. So that's where my passion for music really started. But my sister really loved Debbie Gibson and Tiffany and New Kids on the Block. And I just thought, I looked at them and I thought, oh my gosh, if I don't have a record deal by the time I'm 16, I'm an absolute failure. Like I was that kid. And I was like, oh gosh, I gotta work at this. So I was writing songs. I was taking my music lessons. And then my first theater job was at Canada's Wonderland, which is, it's like a Disney theme park in Toronto. And I was 15. I was the youngest in the cast. And it was this spectacular show. We had a live band and everything. And you'd sing all the songs from the golden oldies to like you name it. And it was such a magical time. The audition process was insane. It was like a cattle call. So you're literally in a line and you go through the rounds, and it's so brutal, because they just tell you right there and then. If they give you a card, it means you're staying. If you don't get a card, they're like, thank you, bye-bye. And you're like standing beside 7 other people, and you're singing 16 bars each. And just from that, they decide whether you're going to go to the next round. It was kind of like a glorified American Idol or something, like right there. So
Scary.
I know, it was so scary, especially doing the dance numbers, because I'm not like a fully trained dancer, but I took dance lessons. So whenever some of the complicated choreography, I remember what my teachers would say, well, at the end of the day, just make sure that waist up, it looks good, and you're smiling so that you don't look, they don't see what your feet's doing. And when everyone was dancing towards facing this way, I was facing the other way. I'd be like, okay, this is not working. I'm not going to get through. But I did. And that was that. That was my first job that I got through. And I spent it was about an 8-month job. So I was very lucky to go to a school of the arts where they were very supportive. It was tough because I had to do homework and exams and all that, but in between. But they allowed me to go and work in between too. So that was my first job. So yours was Seinfeld. And
My first TV job was Seinfeld.
Yeah, it was. And then after that, when you how was that to be on a show, such a big show at the time?
We shot it down at Radford, which is right around the corner from my house, CBS Radford.
Yeah.
And I'd never been on a soundstage before and literally had zero idea what the hell I was doing. Like absolutely none. And I really just kind of figured it out on the job. And actually in the audition, it was only 3 lines, so I just kind of had to figure out what they were about. And I can't remember if it was Larry David or the director. Somebody was like, do you want to tell them what the scene is? And whoever it was said, no, let's let them see you do it. So whatever the hell I did was funnier than the redheaded guy who went in behind me. And I got the job. And then I figured, well, they'll tell me on set when I get there. Little did I know, they did not have time to explain to the kid with 3 lines what the hell is going on or how to be an actor on TV. So I literally based the character on the fact that the guy playing my dad, his character was kind of an asshole. So I was like, oh, well, I'm an asshole. So it was skin of my teeth, that job. But they were very sweet. Jerry and Jason, and I ran into Jason Alexander one time years later, and I was with my dad, and it's in the Canada's parking lot. And I said, hey, Jason, howdy. And I introduced him to my dad, and Jason said, oh, you got a very talented son here, which made my heart explode. So Jason will always be a hero to me.
Yeah, well,
thanks for whoever said I just nailed it.
Yeah. Oh, of course, yes. I mean, how did you deal with your nerves? Especially because especially when you're doing comedy, it's all about being present, alert, quick on your feet, having those instant reflexes. I mean, and then when nerves come into play, how do you balance that?
There's a
'Cause
lot
you
of
do it
deep
so
breathing
well.
and just, what's that, hon?
You do it so well.
Oh, thank you, darling. Now that particular job, I just had to sort of suck it up and go, okay, let's not screw this up too much. Just get the lines out and not be, just, I don't know. You muddle yourself through.
Yeah.
It's like any kind of new experience in this business. You just move forward and try and figure out what not to do. And oh, thank you for saying we're talented.
Yeah.
What's worse, I can't get it.
You said something so right. You just keep moving forward, and at the end of the day, you only learn through experience, right? So if you're gonna fall or make a big mistake, they always say do a big one, and then you learn from it.
Yeah, I was really lucky in that my second job, my job at Seinfeld was on a show called Sequest, and I was kind of allowed to learn on the job, which you really don't get to do that nowadays.
Yeah.
And I just kind of kept my mouth shut, my eyes open, and that was with these actors, very seasoned actors, like Roy Scheider was on the show, Academy Award winning, Jaws. He was amazing. And we were doing the scene in a very tight space. And I was fresh out of theater school and I was speaking very loud. I was using my theater voice. And he goes, "Hey, kid, you got a microphone taped to your chest. You don't have to project." And I looked at my microphone and went, "Oh my God, thanks, Mr. Scheider." Like I had no freaking idea.
Yeah.
Do you know Stephanie Beacham, the English actress?
What's that, love?
Do you remember Stephanie Beacham?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So Stephanie was on the show, and she's on TV, and I was just very fortunate in that I worked with people who kind of who taught me on the job.
But that's such a great way of learning too.
Yeah, which people don't get that experience now. It's like if you don't have it, and I would say your first job is luck. Your second job is luck. By the third job, you kind of need to know what you're doing, or they're going to figure it out, and you're done.
Yeah. But then isn't it funny? It's the opposite experience of when you're doing theatre. When recently you and I were doing the Shakespeare event for Brit Week, and it was a hot minute since I did theatre, and just trying to wrap my mind around all those lines of Shakespeare, and I was so scared out of my mind. I've never been more petrified.
You were so good in that.
In a while, Well, thank you. Well, you were brilliant.
Oh, you're sweet.
That was such a great day. But it was such a different experience. It just brought me. Theatre really humbles you, doesn't it? Because everything is live.
That's a hell of a word for it. Yeah.
Yeah. It just humbles you because there's no hiding. You're fully exposed. You're vulnerable, in front of everyone. But there's something so magical of seeing live theatre, and
well, it's because it's a little dangerous. They know if it's bullshit, and you're gonna pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think I wanted to puke before I went on stage. I was so crazy nervous. That was just like, oh, this is what it's like. Oh.
Olivier went through a period where he asked the other actors, he would get so nervous, he asked the other actors not to look him in the eye on stage. Because he was so, yes. Because I was a weird kid who read Olivier biographies.
Yeah. Gosh.
Like he had such stage fright, he couldn't look at the other actors in the eye.
How does that work when you're having an intimate scene, having conversation and...
Just look right there.
Look right there.
That's your trick. Just look straight in between the eyes. Acting tips from Tim.
There you go. Yeah. Okay.
Just glaze your eyes over and look at the middle of the forehead.
If you could be anyone for a day, who would it be? Why? And what would you do?
That's a good question. God, I never thought of such a question. I would say...
Could be anyone. If they
anyone?
Alive.
It's anyone at any period in their life?
Anyone, yeah.
Let's say Mick Jagger at the height of the Stones.
Ah, that's a good one.
He seems like he enjoyed himself.
Yeah, no satisfaction. That's a good one. Timmy, it's flown by. We only have 5 minutes left.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Any more questions you want to get to before we
Yeah.
Well,
Let me see.
So I'm crying. It's over. We're almost over.
Oh, Timmy from Hong Kong Tiger. What happened to Tad Cooper? And did you keep anything from the set? Hello from South Africa.
Hello, South Africa. That's my South African accent. South Africa. Actually, I'm looking. I've got Tad Cooper sitting on my dining room table right now.
Oh, you do?
And I also have John and Kat, our producers, sent me King Richard's. I don't have the hero sword. Actually, John has that in his guard. But I have King Richard's father's sword is in my office. The sword that Richard was going to get when his father died.
Yeah.
And Kingsley, his dick of a brother, played by the late great Rutger Hauer. Love you, Rutger.
Yes, love you.
The sword that he stole from him.
Yeah.
So I've got that. What else did I steal? I wish I had taken a crown and some of Richard's rings.
Oh wait, did you?
No, because
did you get a jewel
what?
Valencia?
I do have a jewel Valencia. I'm looking at it right now. It's over in my casket. So
I've got mine too. I should have pulled that out for today. That would have been very appropriate.
I know if I had shells behind me, I'd put it here. But I wish I took one of the crowns. And I really wish I took Richard's rings.
I wonder if you could reach out. Surely they must have access to that because it's all in storage. Sheena would have. Maybe.
We'll have to talk about this another time. Oh shit! Look, my beautiful assistant just brought me something. Hey, Elsa, can you bring the thing in the box over
there? Boom.
Jewel Valencia, boom.
Yes.
Boom.
Jewel Valencia has been to many places too.
This one has. And if you remember the show, it's been in many places. You should probably watch that. Oh, special guest. Special guest coming by. It's Tad Cooper.
Tad Cooper. And he is a dragon.
Of course he's a dragon. What do you think? So I've got Tad. This is the Tad that I used on set. And I also have his little baby Bjorn carrying bag, his satchel that I would take him everywhere.
You kept that too.
So when I first had my stroke, I was in a hospital in Florida.
Yeah.
John and Kat sent me this. I had him sitting out on my the table on my next to my bed, and medical professionals would come in because it's in Florida and they do have lizards. They would all freak out over Tad sitting on my table. He's very spiky.
He is.
And the real Tad was very spiky too. Not fun to hold. Look at those claws, though.
He looks so lifelike too. So lifelike. Well, we love you and we love Tad Cooper. This has been so much fun, Timmy.
It's great talking to you, Cos. I miss you.
I miss you too. Well, I'll drop off some more butter chicken curry very soon. So
please do.
And some tea.
Let kids crawl for me.
I will. I love you loads. And
everybody, thank you for watching. I think we're almost done. But
yeah.
Love you guys and thank you for the support you give me as I'm struggling on my recovery. I appreciate it. And hi Genevieve and Michael. You guys are watching in the UK. Love you.
Love you guys. Thank you guys for joining Tim and I. Tim, you know who's going to come on next Wednesday for Tea with Karen?
No, who?
Adam Crosdale. Do you remember you met Adam?
Oh yeah, Adam is so great.
Yeah. So Adam's.
Ooh, he's handsome. Y'all gonna want to tune in for that one.
Well, I'm lucky. I get all the handsome guys here. I've got you. I've got Adam coming on.
Shucks.
So it's all good. So that's our next guest, and Timmy and I will draw 4 winners to send out some Amazon gift cards to you guys for the tea with.
By the way, speaking of pictures of tea with Karen, there was that photo of me in the white cup. I think it was from the pump house. About the first time we ever really had tea together.
Yeah.
During Galavant, we took you, Mallory, and Luke, and I took a little excursion to Bath and Bath and had tea at the famous pump house. And
yeah, that was.
But I think Audrey might have sent that in. So thank you, Audrey, if you sent me that in.
That was a good times. Yes, but I thought that was so appropriate to post. And you actually did. You held your teacup properly too.
When in doubt, pinky out.
Yeah. I said it when in doubt. Yes, I can't even do it as gracefully as you did. It's just kind of like.
Oh please.
Like, you know.
You have prettier teacups than I do.
kind of thing. Anyway, cheers, love.
Cheers, love. See you,
Love
sweets.
you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Ta-ta.
Ta, love.
Ta.